Jason was my son, and today is his birthday.
Hey, what is going on, camp counselors? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. So today's Friday the 13th video is going to be a fun one. We're going to be talking about how Friday the 13th could change the slasher trend that we see going on. So thanks to Screen Rant, they actually did an article that I found that it was really interesting and something that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Part of the article goes, the original Friday the 13th heroine died in the opening of Friday the 13th Part 2, swiftly off by Jason as revenge for killing his mother Pamela Voorhees in the original movie. However, if the franchise creators wanted Friday the 13th to borrow Halloween slasher reboot formula and retcon its sequels, which it should since they are contradictory, confusing, and totally inconsistent, then Friday the 13th reboot can ignore the issue. Friday the 13th reboot could reintroduce Adrienne King's Alice, a part that she already revived in a recent fan film Jason Rising, and kill off the character to establish a merciless nature of this new version of Jason, clarify his backstory, and clear up any lingering confusion about the canon of the series in one fell swoop. So I gotta agree with Screen Rant, because there's one thing that Friday the 13th can do that Halloween, Scream, Texas Chainsaw Massacre cannot. Now, the thing with that, as stated in Screen Rant's article, is that yes, the kind of backstory, the timeline is kind of jacked up because each of the movies have a different part, different characters and things like that going on. The only thing that seemed to continue up until Part 6 was the Tommy Jarvis storyline. But honestly, if they were to reboot, they could take from Halloween's formula where they take off from the original Halloween. Friday the 13th could do that exact same thing as well with the original Friday the 13th. Now, the problem that Friday the 13th doesn't have is that, yes, the final girl did die in Part 2. Now, that being said, if you look at Halloween, you look at Scream, you look at Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they chose to bring back their final girls. So if you think about it, it's a lot easier for Friday the 13th to be able to just kill off the final girl without pissing off our annoying fans and doing different things as far as actually making a decent timeline for Friday the 13th, and without having to figure out how are we going to kill the final girl, how, why, who's going to kill who, because we all know that Alice, she does die in Part 2. Jason gets his revenge, as stated, for killing his mom. So you could just do a whole new, brand new, updated timeline for Friday the 13th without that issue, because we all know the final girl dies. Therefore, there's no reason to continue her. There's no reason to do anything more than what we have to, like Halloween, Scream, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre did. And I think that's one way that Friday the 13th can be successful and break that slasher trend. All the slasher movies coming out now, they're always bringing the final girl, right? Which is cool. Halloween, you did it, but then Scream started doing it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre started doing it, and it's just it seems like it's copy off of my homework but change it up a bit so it doesn't look like you're cheating. But I get it's a way to bring slashers back. However, you do come up with the problem with how do we give them something different, how do we change it, how do we figure it out, right? So with Neve Campbell, for instance, she said that she does not want to fall by Ghostface's blade, so therefore you're just going to have continuous movies with Sidney Prescott coming and coming and coming, but she's never going to die. Therefore you get stuck with the final girl, which for some people that's going to be okay with. For some people it's not. You want something different, like get rid of the final girl, let us get some new info and some new things and timelines going without the original final girl. Now the same thing goes with the Halloween. We look at Laurie. Now, although you give us a very good timeline with Laurie, but now you've come into the problem of it has to end, right? Halloween ends, has to end. How are we going to end it? Do we kill Michael Myers? Do we kill Laurie Strode? And it seems like the way I'm looking at things, my personal opinion, is that you're sacrificing Michael Myers' life to keep Laurie Strode alive, and I think that that's what's going to happen. I'm not trying to say spoilers, but that's just my personal opinion. I think Michael is going to die, and you sacrifice Michael for the final girl, which, it's a slasher movie. That should be a no-no. Michael should come out on top. But, then you look at Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where we copied off the slasher trend of Michael, and we brought Sally Hardesty back, and that was just an epic fail all around. There was really no purpose to bring her back. She was just there. It didn't even make sense. sense to where, why don't you remember me type thing, where it's like, well, Leatherface is kind of mentally handicapped. Why would he remember you? You know, things like that. It was just all over the place. However, Friday the 13th can save the slasher trend, can break that, because like I said, the final girl does die in part 2, and you can give us a whole new timeline, whole new story and characters, all that greatness, just off of the original one. Kill Alice off early. You're not going to piss off fans, because fans already know that Alice's doom is to die by the hands of Jason for revenge. So I can see Friday the 13th. You can break that. I hope you do. Let's not bring back any final girls and things like that. If you were to do a new timeline and bring Tommy Jarvis back and give us a whole new Tommy Jarvis and storyline, I'm down for that. However, that will obviously come within later sequels. If you were to reboot the franchise or remake or do any type of movies coming from the original Friday the 13th, because we'll already have the lore established, just like we have with Halloween and Scream and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's no need to change anything up. And the cool thing is you get to keep Jason a human. You can, now don't get me wrong, I love the dead Jason, right? But at the same time, there was something about 2009's Jason where he was human again that was scary. There was something scary about the human Jason in part 2 and 3 and 4. So you can bring that scary element of Jason being a human and being just as scary and dangerous like he was in all the other movies before he became a walking zombie. Now, the cool thing is, if you decide to make Jason dead again, that'll be in later sequels. And that's why I think if Friday the 13th breaks the slasher trend without having to bring back final girls and things like that, and then coming up with the problem with how do we kill them off, how do they survive, how do we make it end, we don't have that problem with Friday the 13th, because again, for the 5th time, the final girl dies. We can just come up with new stories and characters and things like that and continue on with the Friday the 13th, giving them a proper timeline. Because yes, the timeline is kind of messed up because it is all over the place, but each movie was a different set of characters, a different set of people and problems and issues. The main thing that stayed was Crystal Lake and Jason, and of course Jason's look as each movie progressed. But I'm excited. I hope Friday the 13th, I hope the directors and the production companies, they take a look at that. Do not copy off of Halloween when it comes to the final girls, Scream, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Let's break the final girl stigma. Let's get that done and over with. Friday the 13th has a chance for a fresh look and take and timeline. And I really do think that the production companies and the creators and everyone who has licenses should take advantage of that, because there's no reason why Jason can't have a good timeline. This is a perfect opportunity to bring us back to Camp Crystal Lake. Give us some nods to the films. Yes, of course, Easter eggs, all that good stuff. But also give us a Jason. Make him scary. Let him take on this awesome new reboot route or remake, whatever you want to call it. But there's just so much they can do. It's a fresh pavement, just a fresh canvas that they can do with Friday the 13th that they couldn't do with Halloween, Scream, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and so on and so forth. You kind of had to use those characters just like Halloween. Now you're stuck with trying to kill off Laurie without pissing off fans. You don't have that problem here. Fresh new take. It's going to be awesome. So that's my thought. That's the little ramblings I got going on in my head, you guys. But let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think? Do you think it's possible? What do you think about my whole video? Does it make sense? Do you think we should get rid of the slasher girl? Like I said, it's a really good chance to be able to get a good timeline, new characters, fresh story right out the box that these other slashers do not have. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree with me? What do you guys think? What would you guys like to see in the new Friday the 13th movie if we get one, which I'm pretty sure we're going to get one. But let me know in the comments down below, guys. Let me know what you guys think. If you liked the video, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell as well, and also becoming a member. Consider becoming a member just like these awesome people here on screen. Awesome people. Love the members, love the subscribers. You guys rock. Thank you for supporting the channel, and that'll be the end of today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. Remember, be the strange that you would like to see out in this world, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe. See you guys later, and take it easy. Peace out.